Good lad. Something like that.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're back. Was it fourth Friday of July? Almost to the end with giving you another bit of an update, and hopefully this week a few hints and tips to sort of help you out and help get your house sold and help you get on with your agent. So yeah, obviously we've talked about that, guys, haven't we? So we want to try and help people. And I'd like to try and get a couple of tips off you guys if we can to see what people can do with their agent, help sell their house. Who wants to start? Where should we start there? Matt, you want to
go? Yeah, happily. So recently with some events, as some people do, their house has been on the market. They've been stuck with that agent. We've recently took a property off another agent, which obviously I'm not going to name for obvious reasons. And I had the vendor, on the phone recently. She'd given the agent the relevant notice period. She was out of the contract. She'd given 28 days notice, which is a long time to give notice anyway. It's effectively giving that agent another month to sell your property. As I say, is a long time. She's come out of it, about to come on the market ourselves, and literally has just been stung with a £150 bill. She didn't know what it was for. So me and Kev obviously helped her. We dwelt into it a bit more and looked into it, and it was for what's called a digital marketing packages, from which the vendor told me the agent in question had come round and taken the pictures with an iPad, which I laughed at. And to me, £150 for somebody to come round with an iPad, which camera is probably about as good as a Nokia 3310. Which, by the way, guys, doesn't have a camera and is as old as me. 150 quid. But for her to come on the market with us and for her to get out of that contract when she'd given the relevant notice period, she had to pay that £150. Now, that vendor is £150 worse off, and she's given an agent effectively some of a fee for something the agent's not done. They've not got any viewings further. They've not sold the property. So I'm starting this off today a little bit annoyed at some rogue agents that are out there. And I just want anybody that's watching it, please, guys, just read paperwork, box clever, do a bit of research on the agent before they come out. When an agent says they are no sale, no fee, and I get this question a lot, they say, are you genuinely no sale, no fee? Like, it's some kind of James Bond thing going on. Very quiet and very subdued. I can assure you we are no sale, no fee. If we do not sell your property, you owe us nothing. That's the be all and end of it. And that's the way it should be, guys. And I've heard of this quite a bit going on, and I know Howard has as well. I always recommend read up on estate agents, read reviews, read contracts. Don't just sign it in the heat of the moment. And I always go through with vendors to say, this is how long you're stuck with us for. This is how long the notice period is. I explain it because, let's face it, I recently came across somebody that I know I spoke about in the last video who hasn't sold a house for 34 years. That's a long time, and it can be quite daunting. And, if an estate agent comes in, says all the right words, and you're up for their signing straight away, you've not read it. And this is what happened with the other vendor who's paid money. The estate agent ticked some boxes, apparently, and then the vendors obviously signed it, saying, well, they've said it's no sale, no fee. I'm happy to sign that. Let's go. And then she's ringing up saying, my God, I've been charged 150 quid. They ticked the box that I didn't even see. They've ticked it, and I didn't even know I was getting it. So, yeah, guys, that's my first tip for you. Read, it's like when you're signing up to, for example, something as simple as getting your Sky or BT bill. You read how much you're going to be paying. You'll read the small text to think, well, I'm going to be stuck with Sky now for 2 years, and they're going to be charging me 55 quid a month. I wish they were charging 55 quid a month. And then it all of a sudden goes up to 90 quid a month, and then you ring, and it turns out you're out your contract, you renegotiate all that market, you read on that stuff. So why wouldn't you do it with your estate agent? The biggest investment and biggest thing you do in life is sell and buy a house. So why wouldn't you take that extra precaution? That's me. First tip there.
Matt, you're right there as well. And it's in the small print for one reason only. They hope that you miss it. And this is in anything you do, not just in estate agency. So, yeah, read it thoroughly. And I think the way that I conduct myself, and I know that you do, Matthew, as well, is that we actually turn the agreement around and actually talk it through someone and explain to them what this means and how that impacts you and why, if we don't always do a tie-in period. So we discuss what the reasons are for, and if maybe we've actually given you some marketing fee, that's maybe why we do it for a period of time. But I have heard this as well, to be charged for something that you didn't know about, for something that you've never asked or wanted, that you think it's been an offer to you. I think we discussed before, Matthew said, if it sounds too good to be true, it likely is. You know, you don't really get anything for nothing in this world. And so read the small print. If the estate agent is trying to get you to sign it there and then, estate agent, you're buying a TV, whatever it is, ask yourself, why is there so much rush? You know, can you hold on to that agreement and read it? You know, can you get one of your friends to read it? Do that. We've got nothing to hide. I mean, quite honestly, I mean, I've many a time emailed an agreement out to someone who, after being out, said, have you got an agreement I can read? I want to take time and read it. We email it out. We've got nothing to hide. And I think that's the case. So read it through and query any questions. And if you, we were discussing early on, if you sign it in your own home, you've got 14 days anyway, kind of cooling off period. But if you sign it in their office, you don't have that kind of luxury. The other thing is, before you choose your estate agent, maybe mystery shop them even on the telephone. Go into the office. Another little tip as well is that I've spoken to many people around is, if you're thinking about putting your house on the market and there's a house around the corner and it's for sale, or it's a house around the other corner and it's sold, go and have a chat to them. I'm thinking of selling my house. What are your experiences of that estate agent? You know, what are the good things? Yeah. What are the things that kind of frustrated you? Because very from that point of view, you're actually speaking to someone that's actually done about it. One of the things that you know, we don't go around there shouting praises for estate agents. I don't think you really know until you go on it. So one of the things that we use in Preston, I know you use in Lancaster, is the Google reviews, and I think for people to go on there as well. So you can. They do FIFA, they do Google reviews, and I know you can get some people on there put nasty stuff, but in the whole, I'd probably think that everything's on there is as legitimate as what it is be. So just do a bit of your homework. Don't just look at things. So don't choose your estate agent. This a lot of people do. Who's going to give me the best price? Because that's easy. I can give you a maximum price to sell your house. That is easy, and also the cheapest fee. Basically, what you need to look at is what you're actually getting for the money, because anyone can quote you a high price and a cheap fee, and that fee is of nothing if they don't sell it for you. So do your homework, speak to other people, and don't make a knee-jerk decision. That's my little tip, guys.
Yeah, well, I think we're always quite keen on making sure people have more than one valuation of a house. You know, don't just get us out, because we're not always right. You know,
no.
You know, so you need that comparison, and you need that comparison.
Just to come in on what you said there, Kev, you are right. And again, so people, I have had, just to go back to what I just said then about choosing the estate agent. I will actually ask someone, said, so you're having 3 estate agents. What are you looking at? What's important to you? And some people say, I'm going to choose the estate agent with the best price. Some people say, well, I'm going to choose a estate agent that gives me the middle price. Well, don't choose your estate agent on price, because we can always discuss the price. Choose a estate agent that you think will do the best job for you, that will match your requirements. You know, ask the estate agent, can you provide me this? Can you do this? Can X, Y, and Z? If a company viewings are important to you, and the estate agent with the high price and the cheapest fee won't do them, and won't do them after that, office hours as well, that's not the estate agent for you. So yeah, don't be hoodwinked into choosing an estate agent for high prices and cheap fees. It's the level of service. Like Kevin alluded to before, is we don't always get the price right. So if you go out to a terrace house, it's normally similar to the other terrace house or a semi-terrace. If you've got something different, it's a lot harder to get the price correct. And sometimes it's a kind of touch and feel kind of way to get the right price. But the best way to do that is to get several estate agents, see what they say, okay, and then have a discussion with the estate agent. I always say the price we finally put it on will be discussed with myself, Mr. Johnson, for example, Mrs. Johnson, the whole family, and we'll discuss the best way to market your property to get the best price, and then we monitor it. So sometimes I put the house on the market at another estate agent's price, and hand on heart, sometimes it's sold, and sometimes that price may have been higher than what I have said. But the only way we get that is by communicating and talking. So just to reiterate, choose the estate agent you think will do the best job, that gives you the confidence, because Matthew said then, it's a massive asset, your house. And if you do it once every 34 years, you're lucky. But if you do it once every 34 years, it's daunting if you do it every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're speaking it from recent experience, Kevin.
Yeah. But I think it is definitely well worth checking out the agents. You know, you mentioned there, Howard, about maybe going in and speaking to them and checking reviews out. You know, check the marketing out. Check, you know, go on to the Rightmove. You know, do you like the way that an agent markets? Are you drawn to somebody else's marketing? It might not be ours. I'm just saying it might be something. You know, whose marketing draws you in. You know, make sure you're also looking at how your house is going to be displayed at that agent. Because if you don't like it, then why?
No, you're right. And if it was about, because I touched on fees, and I'm not labouring over this, but if it was about fees, you know, we'd all be driving larders, if we still do larders. We'd all be shopping at Aldi. They do offer good money, Aldi, right? But we don't. We shop wherever they are. So, you know, it's horses for courses. You do get what you pay for, but make sure you do get what you pay for, and it doesn't happen like the incident that Matthew discussed early on, where pull the wool over your eyes. And the fact is that these estate agents that do this, and we will not mention who they are, they must be very, very short-sighted, because that lady that Matthew dealt with and the person I spoke will not use that estate agent again. And even if they bump into someone in a shop with a mask on, as of today, that, you know, the person they're talking to, they might not be looking at moving house. But I tell you what, I bet you that comes up in the conversation. You never guess what, but this is what happened to me. So it'll come up. But if they had a good experience, they wouldn't say, "Oh, I've just sold my house to so-and-so. They're absolutely brilliant. Why is she telling me? I'm not looking at selling." So they will. So it's short-sightedness from that estate agent. Believe me.
I agree.
I think the most, I think, like you said, Howard, you know, given anybody's needs, which is the most important thing, which is, you know, you do get these corporate agents, as I say, big ones, in my opinion, and I think us, like a family run one who are local, more people will know us and we'll listen to people and we'll listen to people's needs. And it's like you rightly said, you've got to think, say somebody lives down in London and they've got a house in Lancaster, Preston. How can they check on that house? You know, could we go around and check it every week and say, yeah, everything's fine, don't worry about it? That's going that little bit above what anybody else will do. You know, how often do you hear from your agent? You know, you could pay, like you said, the cheapest fee. And the thing that you want to know is what's going on in my house, how many viewings have I got? And all you could do is keep ringing that cheap agent who, you know, is never going to get back to you, doesn't really care, because to him, you're just a number. Or you know, without tooting our horn, you know, for example, I give out my mobile number. I know Howard does as well. You know, we're an estate agent that works around you, the client. Does your estate agent work around you, or is it 9 till 5? See you later on a Friday. They're off to the pub having the pint, forgotten about the weekend. Whereas genuinely, we could be having a pint or in a coffee shop. Doesn't matter. I bet you I'd still pick up the phone or text you back.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
yeah. Just Kevin, just on the, I know you want to talk there, Kevin, but just quickly back to fees, right? I said I wasn't labouring on it. I clearly am.
Yeah.
But again, another tactic, right? So it doesn't matter how much a house is worth. An estate agent, shall we say, maybe have two options: one that they charge a percentage, one where they charge a fee, and that fee may be £900, let's say. We've got to pay that up front. Whether your house sells or not, you pay that up front. So you out there who thinks, well, I could get a bargain. You might do. Someone luckily sees it on Rightmove and comes around, and you've saved yourself a couple of £1,000. But if that doesn't happen, that estate agent, they can shut up on a Friday tea time or even lunchtime, because
he's in the Bahamas spending your money.
Tell you what, you are right. Because even if they answered the phone at 5:05 and sold you, booked a view in your house which sold, they won't get paid a penny more. So in other words, why should they try when they've already got your money and they've already got your £900? And it's beggars belief how, I don't really know how they get away and why people do it. I honestly don't know. And there are a couple of them that do charge that up front, but if you do want viewings on top, they actually charge you, I don't know how much it is, but per viewing. So so just be careful. Just be careful out there. That's the tip.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers, that boys. I can't remember what I was going to say now, but
Oh, it's just me interrupting you again. Sorry, Dave.
yeah, it'll come back to me.
We finally found somebody who talks more than me, and it's Howard Roberts.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll go, oh, that's what it was.
That's it. But don't be ringing me at middle at night.
No, I'll just crack
Live
a live
on
stream.
YouTube.
Crack a
3
live
o'clock in the
stream
morning.
in the middle of the night and just update everyone as to what that was that I was going to say, but I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, cheers, guys. I think this good.
Maybe it was to do with mobile phones. Matthew was mentioning about work contactable out of hours and office and mobile phones. Was it something to do with that?
Yes. So what we were saying is, you two guys give your mobile number out. So make sure you ask your agent for their mobile number. You know, if you're going on the market with somebody, don't accept a card that's got a office number on it.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Now stick your mobile number on the back of there, pal, because we need to, you know, we need to be in touch, you know.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm not going to.
Go on, Howard. Sorry.
I was going to say I'm not going to advertise it that I have it available, but at 12:10 the other Saturday, I answered a phone call from my vendor, so I wasn't intoxicated, so I was okay. Go on, Matt.
Fine, mate.
I was literally about to say, the thing that gets me is we are, for example, me and Howard, who do the valuations here at Lancastrian, and we're the faces that you see and we're the people that you most likely meet first if you're not coming to the office. So for me, it's kind of like, well, why shouldn't you be able to deal with me? I mean, you can ring the office and everyone's lovely there. But if you need to contact us at a certain time where the office isn't open, or even during the day, I get so many people leave messages for me. We do get back to you. Come direct to us. Why go through it when you can come direct? We're the people who've seen you. We're the people who've been in your house. You know, we're the ones who know, you know, if you've got a dog who, you know, and all this, and where the kids, you know, and everything, and times and tea times, so we know when to ring you and contact you back, things like that. You know, and it gets me how so many agents have evolved, if that makes sense, to this stage that you need to work around the client doesn't work around you. That's the way the world's going. People are finding less and less time every week.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you tend to find those a lot of estate agents, not all, and I do stress that, not all estate agents, but a lot of estate agents, their role isn't valuing that like we do. Their role is one thing on it, to put houses on the market. And that's why a lot of times things are rushed. Prices are inflated. Fees are, cheapened. The stuff that they smooth over because they don't want you to read it, because they get commission for putting your house on the market, not for selling it, just putting your house on the market. Maybe another tip, maybe ask the person that comes onto your house, you get commission for putting houses on the market. You know, if they do, look into it a little bit deeper, because I know the fact that myself and Matthew, it doesn't affect us one little bit in terms of, money of getting houses on the market. Not at all. So we're there genuinely to give you the best advice. So
here's a tip for you, by the way. Look them right in the eyes. Look them right in the eyes and ask them it. If they look left, they're lying. I watched a program on it. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't need to say any more. That's the one, Matt.
Cheers, guys. I think there's some helpful stuff there in terms of choosing an agent that's right for people. So don't want to keep you guys for too much longer, but I just wanted to touch on the there's the phone going. Touch on the market and how that's been since last week. Obviously, we mentioned that it was still going strong for sales, not so strong for listings, but it was getting a bit better. I mean, is that still the case? Is that what you guys are finding?
Still busy. If anything, as we've experienced here in the LA postcode, I think a few higher priced properties are coming to the market now, because I think that they're realising that if anyone's going to buy them, they'll do it during the stamp duty cuts.
Yeah,
I
can agree with that.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd update you with the stats again, like I did last week. New instructions generally have jumped up quite a lot in both of your areas. 144 it was up to last week, 206 for this week, so quite a big jump in Lancaster, Morecambe. 122 in PR, 115, 186 at this moment, as of yesterday. So again, two big jumps, 60 odd each there. Still way down on last year though. They're running at Lancaster, Morecambe's just under 60%, and of last year, and Preston's 50% of last year. So it's way down for listings. The sales, so sales in the LA postcodes, Lancaster Morecambe was 105 last week, 146 now, and that's down on last year. Still 196 in total for July last year. So sales might actually not end up getting to the same as last July. Which is quite surprising given what we're experiencing at the moment in Lancaster. So there's obviously some shortfall somewhere. The PR ones, though, PR is still going strong for sales, as we know. 127 this time last week, 186 now. Against 191 for last July. So I mean, it's 5 short year on year. So I would say Preston's going to go way over again. We've got another full week to go yet. So it is still really busy, but there's just still a massive shortfall year on year for properties coming to the market.
Yeah. So I think the confidence is coming back a bit. Yeah, so I think this confidence come back
as we've gone towards the end of July. But it's still massively down. So surprising, even given stamp duty. We thought stamp duty was going to have a really big impression. But let's hope that sort of goes into August and carries on. Howard trying to multitask and pass stuff outside of his camera.
Just getting that coffee. I decided that coffee was cold and had to go. I'm being ordered for my lunch. This is lunch at 25 past 4. Most of these other estate agents, they've shut up now and gone home to the pub, Matt. Matt just had his lunch before he went live.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Only a little yogurt. Didn't have time to cook or make a sandwich. So it's a yogurt and a pepperami.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, to summarise, so, make sure you choose your estate agent wisely, I think is the thing. Yeah. Certainly look into them. Do your research before you decide on them. And that means don't decide there and then, I think, doesn't it? Give it a little bit of time. In terms of the market, it looks like the house going to the market are going to be still way down year on year. Sales, Lancaster and Morecambe looks like it's probably going to end up very similar, but I think PR is going to smash through last year again. Really strong sales market at the moment in Preston. So let's say if you want to speak to us about it, you're thinking about putting your house on the market, still a good time. There's a small pond at the moment, so you can get your house in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
if you want to make some money at the weekend, go and get yourself an old iPad and go around to someone's house taking photographs. You get 150, 160 quid.
Hey? Get your Nokia out.
Well, how much iPad is? You can probably make your money back in a couple of sessions there.
Honestly, that's unbelievable.
To be honest, I'm just going to put it out there. I cannot believe an agent is using an iPad to take photos. I'll be honest. My auntie, who's like 80 odd, will take photos on an iPad of her garden and send them to me. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. However, any agent who's advertising your house should be using a brand new phone or a camera, like a good photography phone or camera.
I think the point there is the fact that it's okay using an iPad, but just don't charge £160 additionally for it. Use your iPad, that's fine. It's not a problem. But to charge £160, I mean, sure you can get a professional in for that price.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Anyway, that's not for us to
judge.
Judge on that's what they're doing.
What you should have a poll. If you know which estate agent we're talking about, contact Matthew at Lancaster. Hey, it'd be interesting, Matt, to see if
anyone can guess
that name. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Interesting.
I say thank you for joining us again. Hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Don't think the weather's meant to be great, but another week of July to go, so we'll be back on the 31st, so last day of the month. See how it's gone from there, and we'll see you there.